Welcome to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, founder of the Reiki Business Collective and creator of the Build Your Reiki Business program, sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business. Greetings, welcome, and thanks so much for joining me. It's Christian, and I'm honored to have you here for another episode of the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. In this week's episode, we're doing something a little special. We're listening to an excerpt from the recent Sacred Inbox workshop. This workshop is an introduction to the energetic email presentation at the upcoming Reiki Business Summit. Now, if you have not yet saved your seat for the summit, please do not wait. Registration closes this Friday, September 12th, and our transformative experience begins on Saturday, September 13th. But in this excerpt of the workshop, you're going to hear why you've been having challenges reaching people on social media, and just a little bit about how email can help with that. Because this is just an excerpt, but you get the full workshop recording as part of the Reiki Business Summit recordings when you register at reikibusinesssummit.com. Thank you, and blessings to your emails. If you are having challenges reaching your audience on social media, I want to tell you that it's not you. It's not you. Now, we can indeed have challenges reaching our followers, our community on social media that maybe do have to do with us. And the bonus that I'm going to share with you, the free thank you gift, is going to help you a lot with that. But no matter how wonderful your posts are or your content is, you are probably having challenges getting reach on social media. And I want to tell you, it's not you. It's not you, because here's why. First, I want to talk a little bit about what organic reach is. Organic reach, have you heard this term before? Organic reach is the reach that we can get, the visibility that we can get on social media that is not paid. So in social media, when we talk about organic reach, it is as opposed to paid advertising. So you'll hear organic versus paid. Paid advertising, you pay for it. It's a paid advertisement, and organic is what you are able to, who you're able to reach without paying for ads. That's organic reach. And that is the kind of reach that most of us as Reiki practitioners, as small business owners, as solopreneurs, rely on organic reach to reach our audience, especially when we're first starting out and we don't have the funds to buy ads. Organic reach is really what we rely on. But here's the problem. Social media organic reach is falling. It's falling, it's crumbling, it's nosediving. Now, are you on Instagram? Drop it down in the chat for us and let us know if you are on Instagram. I'm personally on Instagram. I'm personally not a big fan of Instagram. It's not my favorite platform, and I just post on there to just post on there. But if you feel that your reach on Instagram has declined, guess what? 87% of businesses agree. 87% of businesses on Instagram agree that their organic reach has declined. And so if this is you, you are in agreement with 87% of businesses on Instagram. As a matter of fact, this decline has just nosedived. And so in 2023, when you post it on Instagram, you might reach 22% of your audience. In 2024, that drastically fell to 4%. So in 1 year, you went from being able to reach 22% of your audience on Instagram with a single post down to 4%. So now on Instagram, 4% of your audience is seeing your posts. That's pretty abysmal. But wait, are you on Facebook? Drop it down in the chat for us and let us know if you are on Facebook. I am on Facebook. I'm a much more active user on Facebook than Instagram, and I do like Facebook a lot more personally. I just like the interface more. I'm not a big fan of the interface on Instagram. For me, it's just like too much with the big pictures and everything. And it just doesn't feel as connected. Instagram feels a little disconnected to me. But I'm on Facebook a lot. Maybe that's where you heard about the Sacred Inbox workshop. But on Facebook, your reach is not any better. When you post, you might reach 2.5% of your audience, 2.5% of your followers. And this can be as low as 0.07%. Wow. How about that? Anytime you post, you're only going to reach 0.07% of your audience. Why bother, right? Well, on Facebook, we know for a fact that business pages do not get nearly as much reach as they used to, and they don't get as much reach as personal profiles. And so if you have your Reiki business page set up and you keep posting on your business page, but no one is seeing it, it's definitely not just you. Maybe 0.07% of your followers are seeing it. Now, here's also a kicker with Facebook. We might think, well, if I had a big audience, Facebook would prioritize my posts more, right? And they would reach a greater percentage of my audience, right? Wrong. Size does not matter. And so whether you have 100,000 followers or 1,000, you're still going to reach like 2.5% of your audience. And with your Facebook page, it could indeed be even lower. And so we might be looking at these statistics and saying, wow, 2.5%, 0.07%. So if you feel like you are shouting into the void, it's because a lot of times you are. Now, there's more to the algorithm stuff than just the statistics. You know, things like when you post, if it gets immediate reaction, then it's more likely to be shared in more of your followers' feeds. A share is valued more than a like on Facebook. So all of those things play into the algorithm. But the truth is, at the end of the day, you could have the most beautiful posts, the most beautiful content, and still only a fraction of your followers are going to see what you've posted anyway. Now, are you on TikTok? Drop it down into the chat for us and let us know if you are on TikTok. I will say I'm personally not on TikTok myself. Because a couple of reasons. TikTok wanted my phone number well, first, they required you to have the app, and I don't put apps on my phone, so I didn't have TikTok. And then when I went to sign up for TikTok on my desktop, they wanted my phone number, and I didn't want to give TikTok my phone number. And then the whole like interface on TikTok is overwhelming for me. It's just too much with all of the videos and the automatic replay of them. And I was like, I'm not doing TikTok. So I'm not on TikTok. But you might think, oh, anyone can go viral on TikTok. Well, you might have a greater chance on TikTok, but still 2.5% is the average of what you will reach when you put out anything on TikTok with your followers. Now remember, this is your followers, so you have to get the followers first in order to then reach 2.5% of them. Now, what else do we have here? We have LinkedIn at 5%. And Lynn, I hear you. It sounds hopeless. It does sound kind of hopeless, doesn't it? But here's the thing, everyone. I want to encourage you that you're not alone in this. And that if you feel like it's an uphill battle with social media, it's because it is. It's because it's not you. It's because it isn't easy. And we've got the statistics right here to share and to prove it so that we know we're not alone. LinkedIn, believe it or not, is the best. LinkedIn is the best at 5%. LinkedIn is the best at 5%. Wow. 5% is the best that we can do on social media. That doesn't sound very encouraging, does it? Well, I see some people are on LinkedIn. Great. I personally am on LinkedIn. I used to use LinkedIn a lot in the past. As a matter of fact, I used to teach students how to use LinkedIn professionally. But I stopped using LinkedIn because as a business owner, I was just getting a deluge of DMs, cold DMs, and I didn't want to receive them. And to turn them off, I had to turn off messaging altogether. So I just stayed away from LinkedIn because it annoyed me. But LinkedIn is a great platform as well. But are you on Twitter? Drop it down if you are on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, forget it. Like it's even worse. Twitter is even worse, especially with Twitter's management changes and ownership changes. It is worse. And so, you can be on Twitter, but it's definitely not any better than any of the other platforms. As a matter of fact, it is worse. Yes, great. Now, some of the ones I'm not mentioning here, Blue Sky, I'm on that too, but I'm not on it very often just because I got lots of other things to do. Maybe you are on YouTube. YouTube is different because, of course, you've got the uphill battle with the algorithm there too. But the idea here is that we can have amazing content, but still, it's only going to be seen by a fraction of our audience anytime we post. And here's why. Here's why these percentages are so low. Number one, social media more and more wants to make money from paid advertising. And so more and more, they want to push us to pay for advertising and to not get great organic reach so that we pay for advertising on their platform. So they want us to pay for ads. Drop it down in the chat for us and let us know if you have paid for any ads on Facebook, Instagram, or any other social media platform. I will tell you that the efficacy, the efficiency, the benefit of paying for ads on social media is also not always great. Yes, Amber, it was horrible. You're not alone with paying for Facebook ads and finding the experience horrible because oftentimes, well, that's a whole other discussion. I have a podcast episode I'll talk about myself in a second. I have a podcast episode on running ads for your Reiki business. And one thing I don't recommend is paying for ads when you are new in your Reiki business. But they are pushing for paid ads and prioritizing those because they want you to pay for ads. They are businesses and they want to make money too. And so they are pushing for paid ads. The volume of content is also a hurdle. And so we've got so much stuff out there, so much content that we can be overwhelmed with it. And so there's just so much more stuff out there that we are competing for people's attention with, that the sheer volume of stuff that is put out there is a mountain that even if we didn't have paid ads that we were competing against, we still have the sheer volume of content. And then number three, we've got human behavior, pure human behavior, because people's attention spans are kind of short. And as they're scrolling, as we scroll, we're not really paying really great attention. And we might see something, it might capture our attention for a second, where we might see something and say, oh, that's interesting. But then we scroll and we're on to the next thing. Or we might even see a post that we read, we engage with, we like, we comment, we share it, and then it's gone. And then it's gone. And we don't even think about it after that. And so human behavior is what it is. And so we're competing with human behavior as well. All of those things mean that our reach, our organic reach on social media has drastically decreased from what it was before and is continuing to decrease. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and how I know all this stuff. So I will tell you that I've seen the decrease as well. In the past couple of years, I have seen a decrease in organic reach on my social media profiles, and I will say especially with my Facebook groups. Now, I am the admin of the Reiki Learning Group. I founded the Reiki Business Collective. Drop it down in the chat for us and let us know if you are a member of those groups on Facebook. Shout out to those community members. Thank you for bringing your love and light and making those high vibe communities. But one thing that's interesting is that Facebook groups are cyclical. So if you have a Facebook group, you'll have a period of time where lots of people are joining and you're getting lots of new members, and then it dies down. And you might think, oh no, my group is dying, my group is dead. No, it'll come back up. It's just very cyclical in nature with Facebook groups. One thing that's really interesting that I found, though, is that for instance, with my Reiki learning group, right now is on an upswing in that cycle. But the engagement is down, which means that people are joining the group, but that the algorithm is not pushing out the content into group members' feeds. And so what's interesting is that even group reach is being more and more suppressed, that I have noticed. I will say that Facebook does prioritize its groups. I am a Facebook insider in terms of groups, and I can tell you that Facebook does value its groups because it knows that that's what brings people onto the platform and keeps them there. But even group reach is declining as well. But I became a Reiki practitioner in 2014, not 2024. 2014, I became a Reiki practitioner. And then I started my Reiki business a couple of years later on the phone. So my Reiki business started as a distance business on the phone. And today I have a hybrid Reiki business. I operate both in person and online, though I have to say I really like the online stuff a lot because we can gather like this all over the world and come together to share Reiki and share in the learning. And I offer courses, sessions, mentoring, lots of Reiki business stuff, Reiki business courses, Reiki sessions, card readings, Reiki business mentoring, all kinds of things that I offer in my business. I also created the Reiki Business Summit coming up in September. I host the Reiki Business Roundtable. It's a monthly gathering of Reiki practitioners who want to start and grow their Reiki business. Shout out to the roundtable members who are here. I see some of you. Feel free to drop it in the chat for us and let us know you are a roundtable member. We're meeting again tomorrow. It's going to be great to see you if you can join us. And I am the host of the Reiki Business Build Your Reiki Business podcast. That is a bi-weekly podcast that you are able to tune in on any platform, any podcast platform, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you tune into podcasts. And I started my email journey in 2020. And back in 2020, when I was at a point of expansion in my Reiki business, I said, you know what, this email thing, I believe in it. And I don't know exactly why I had such faith in email at the beginning and that I just knew it was a really good idea. But as I was expanding and I jumped into email, beginning back in 2020. I'm really glad that I was so invested in it from the beginning of my email journey because it really is something that is so powerful and impactful for our Reiki business, but not many practitioners are using it. So let's talk about email. Now, you may already be using email. So probably you're already using email for things like appointment reminders, where you are sending out appointment reminders. Maybe you are emailing your clients directly, or maybe your calendar system, even better, definitely better if your calendar system is sending out an email reminder automatically. Awesome. Or maybe a follow up afterward to check in, maybe even ask for a review. Awesome. Yes, indeed. We use email for those kinds of things, of course, but email is not just for appointment reminders. I'm talking about email in terms of marketing and using email for marketing. And you'll hear it called email marketing. I don't think of it so much in that way, but I think of it more in terms of connection and community. And so while the catchphrase is email marketing, I really think of email more as a way to create connection and to create community. And so I'm going to be talking more about that aspect of it because I believe that that is truly an aligned way to be using email in our Reiki business. So with email, you can, when you use an email sender, you can send to many people at once. So not just sending one email at a time, you can send to thousands of people at one time. I don't know about you. I think that is pretty amazing. You click the button and it goes to thousands. Um, Now, you may be most familiar with this in terms of the email newsletter. Drop it in the chat for us and let us know if you send out an email newsletter to your email community. This is the way that most Reiki practitioners use email so that you have your monthly newsletter with all of your stuff that you're offering, and you send that out once a month. We're going to talk more about that in a minute, but that is the most common way that Reiki practitioners are using email in their Reiki business. But I'm talking about the kind of email where you get an email sender. So you sign up with a platform, a program like MailChimp or Kit, previously called ConvertKit, or MailerLite, or Constant Contact, or SendFox, or even Wix. And so you have an email sender, a platform that you use to send out emails to multiple people at once. Now, feel free to drop it in the chat for us if you do already have an email sender. So maybe you already have a MailChimp or MailerLite, or Wix is very common with Reiki practitioners who just use their email sender of Wix through their Wix website builder. Not the best one, but it is a way to get started. Now, a recent podcast episode that I did, number 118, is on how to choose an email sender. So, how to choose an email sender, podcast episode number 118, just released a couple of weeks ago in preparation for this workshop so that you would have it, so that I wouldn't have to talk about how to choose an email sender and which ones I recommend. But I will say that I do right now recommend Kit and MailerLite because those are the ones that have the greatest number of subscribers that you can get for free. So with each of those, you can use them for free up to 1,000 members of your email community, also called subscribers. I call them email community members, but up to 1,000. And for many Reiki practitioners, that's That's as much as you'll ever need. That's as much as you'll ever need. And so you could indeed use a free email sender forever. I used to recommend MailChimp when they used to do 2,000, but they now do 500. Who knows what might happen with Kit and MailerLite in the future, but right now they allow you to do send up to 1,000 for free. Now, here's the thing with email. Email is so very powerful. And it is so very powerful because of a few reasons. Number one, 376 billion emails are sent every single day. That's B with a B billion. That's a lot of emails. Now, we might look at that and say, oh no, that's just more volume that I'm competing with. I'm competing with billions of emails every day for mine to be seen. But the way that I look at it is that's a lot of energy. Like if we think about email as the sending and receiving and the back and forth and the moving, think right now about all of the emails that are moving all across the earth at this time and all of the energy that's behind that. That's an incredible current of energy that is begging Reiki practitioners to tap into. So that's just a vast amount of energy itself. Thanks for tuning in to the Build Your Reiki Business podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend. Learn more about the Build Your Reiki Business program at standingstoneshealing.com/build, sending blessings and best wishes to your Reiki business.